Well, hello again. Welcome again to another episode of Down to Earth but Heavenly Minded. And I'm your host, Rich. As we continue on today in the book of Numbers, we will be in chapter 15. This is the law about sacrifices. So let's continue reading our scripture. The law spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, When you come into the land you are to inhabit, which I am giving you, and you offer to the Lord from your herds or from your flocks a food offering or a burnt offering or a sacrifice to fulfill a vow or as a free will offering or at your appointed feast to make a pleasant aroma to the Lord. Then he who brings his offering shall offer to the Lord a grain offering of a tenth of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with a quarter of a hint of oil, and you shall offer it with the burnt offering, or for the sacrifice, a quarter of a hint of wine for a drink offering for each lamb. Or for a ram, you shall offer for a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with a third a hint of oil. And for the drink offering, you shall offer a third of a hint of wine, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. And when you offer a bull as a burnt offering, or a sacrifice, or a fulfilled a vow, or a peace offering, to the Lord, then one shall offer with the bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with a hint of oil. And you shall offer for the drink offering half a hint of wine as a food offering, pleasing with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Thus it shall be done for each bull or ram, or for each lamb or young goat, as many as you offer. So shall you do with each one, as many as there are. Every native Israelite shall do these things in this way, an offering of food offering with a pleasant aroma to the Lord. And if a stranger is sojourning with you, or anyone is living permanently among you, and he wishes to offer a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord, he shall do as you do. For the assembly there shall be one statute for you and for the stranger who sojourneys with you, a statute forever throughout your generations. You and your sojourners shall be alike before the Lord. One law and one rule shall be for you and for the stranger who sojourns with you. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, saying to them, When you come into the land to which I bring you, and when you eat of the bread of the land, you shall present a contribution to the Lord of the first of your dough. You shall present a loaf as a contribution, like a contribution from the threshing floor. So shall you present it. Some of the first of your dough you shall give to the Lord as a contribution throughout your generations. Well, now we come to the law about unintentional sins. We read about some of these things in the book of Leviticus, and they seem to be repeated here in the book of Numbers. But in the book of Numbers, we've got to remember now these are just kind of required, or a refreshment of the requirements that the law had, the law that was given to them back in the book of Leviticus. These are kind of reminders. But if you sin unintentionally and you do not observe all the commandments that the Lord has spoken to Moses, all that the Lord has commanded you by Moses from the day that the Lord gave commandments and outwardly throughout your generations, then if it was done unintentionally without the knowledge of the congregation, all the congregation shall offer one bull from the herd for a burnt offering as a pleasant aroma to the Lord, with the grain offering and the drink offering according to the rules, and one male goat of a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the people of Israel, and they shall be forgiven, because it was a mistake. And they have brought their offering of food offering to the Lord, and their sin offering before the Lord for their mistake. And all the congregation of the people of Israel shall be forgiven, and the stranger who sojourns among them, because the whole population was involved in a mistake. If one person sins unintentionally, he shall offer a female goat or a year old for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement before the Lord for that person who makes the mistake. And when he has sinned unintentionally, to make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven. You shall have one law for him who does anything unintentionally, for him who is a native among the people of Israel, and for the stranger who sojourns among them. But the person who does anything with a high hand, whether he is a native or a sojourner, reviles the Lord, and the person shall be cut off from among his people. But he has despised the word of the Lord, and has broken his commandment, and that person shall be utterly cut off, for his iniquity shall be on him. And now we have the Sabbath breakers executed. And this is, a very serious offense, I guess. Back then it was. While the people of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation. They put him in custody because it had not been made clear what should be done to him. And the Lord said to Moses, the man shall be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. And all the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him to death. The stones as the Lord commanded Moses. Now we come to the tassel on the garment. And the Lord said to Moses, speak to the people of Israel and tell them to make tassels on the corners of their garments throughout the generation, and to put a cord of blue on the tassel of each corner, and it shall be a tassel for you to look at and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, not to follow after your own hearts and your own eyes, which you are inclined to whore after. So you shall remember and do all the commandments, and be holy to your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. And that completes the reading of this chapter, and we will see you the next time we get together. Bye for now.